And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the technical difficulties, learning experience, of course, but we are finally here with the Shounen Anime Pioneers panel for the ANITUBE CON 2020. With me, I have wonderful guests with me. I know everybody's name here, so I'm gonna start with my boy JD. JD, introduce yourself.
My name is JD from Tech Games Network and the Hunters Association podcast.
Pleasure to have you, my man. Kiko.
Kiko from Project Manga. What up, y'all?
Nickums.
Yo, what's up? Nickums from Project Manga.
My man Eagle. Can you hear us, Eagle?
Eagle.
Doesn't look like
The Eagle has not landed yet. All right, my man Sin.
Yo, what's going on? For everyone here that's part of the Sensei fam, thanks for pulling up and supporting. Also, I am Sensei Inc. Please make sure you guys donate. We have links for Black Lives Matter and COVID in the description. That's very much appreciated.
Thank you, Sin. And guys, it is JD Legend here, the Don, the Godfather, Future Hall of Famer. You guys know the spiel. I'm very excited to host this event today. We're going to be talking about the anime that has opened the door for not only just us as anime YouTubers, but for everyone who loves anime in general. We're going to be talking Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, maybe even some anime movies like Akira. There's going to be lots of things that we're going to be discussing today, and this is going to be kind of a nostalgic vibe session. So I just want you guys to relax, enjoy what we're about to talk about, because it's going to be really, really nice. So one thing I wanted to start off with for sure is I want to ask the panel here, what was the one anime that got you into anime itself? So anybody, no rush, but you guys can start off. Whoever wants to go first.
I mean, it's got to be Dragon Ball, right? At least was for me.
I mean,
you know,
for most of us.
sitting in the lunchroom cafeteria, middle school, everyone talking about, Super Saiyan 3, and I'm like, what is Super Saiyan 3? I'm only on, Super Saiyan 1.
Right.
Right.
So you talking about?
Man.
Are you talking about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball
Okay,
Z.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, Z came on first, and then Dragon Ball, they added it later or whatever.
I feel you on that. Sen, you about to say something?
Yeah, for me, it was a little different. Dragon Ball Z did come pretty early, but the very first thing I've ever seen, I was a very, very young child. I shouldn't have been watching this. It was a very late night, and I couldn't sleep. So sometimes what I would do is, and my mom didn't know about this, I would go from my bedroom to the living room to watch TV late at night sometimes if I couldn't sleep.
Right.
So I was on Cartoon Network. It was late at night, and this anime that was on that I didn't know the name of at the time, later found out it was Yu Yu Hakusho. Should not have been watching that at my age, but that was the very first anime I ever seen. Fell in love with it very quickly. Oddly enough, didn't get to actually watch it in its entirety until, years later when I had access to the internet. But that was the very first anime that I seen.
Awesome. Classic.
Well, I'll go a little bit of a different route from the Shonen's part. My first anime was Pokemon. Now, we all know
it does count.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll give you that. It counts.
back then Pokemon was the shit. You had the cards, you had the Game Boy, the games. Like for me and where I grew up and at school, that was the shit. If you had the cards, you were in. You had the games, you were in. The trading, just everybody wanted to be a Pokemon master. So
You had the binder and everything, at
had
the back of the binder, you got the holographics in there. Like, listen, bro, you the shit in school, bro. It's like, I got this holographic Dragonite. Ain't nobody messing with me no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I got that first edition Charizard.
There you go.
They didn't
Never knew how to play the game when I was a kid.
Never.
I had the cards.
Never knew how to do that shit.
You take those energy cards, you just throw them in the trash. Like, what is energy cards?
Right.
Yo, the energy cards, nobody was messing with them.
Yeah,
and
it was the same with Yu-Gi-Oh. Whoever had the best card won. That's how it was. Like.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
got more attack and health, so I win.
I feel you on that. Was it the same for you, Kiko?
I mean, yeah, largely. Because, first, Dragon Ball Z, I guess that's the first thing where I was old enough to really realize, like, this shit is different. This isn't like all the other cartoons that we've seen. And, like, going back to, like, late 80s, like, I seen Voltron. Like, Voltron's technically anime, right? Like, but I didn't know. That's just a cartoon to me when I'm, 5 years old or whatever, or 3 years old, whatever the hell.
Right.
But Dragon Ball Z, when it came out, I first remember seeing Goku and Nappa, and just Nappa's trying to, land a bunch of kicks on him, and he's just doing the shit, dodging all the fucking kicks on him. And right there, I was like, this is some shit, right? I don't know what this is, and I need to know immediately, where to get more of this. And yeah, I mean, I went to school. Yeah, I was in middle school when that shit came out. Same thing, and I remember. Only people that knew what I was talking about is the Asians. So I had to go sit with the Asians at the lunch table, and they were talking about, just like Nickums is saying, they're talking about Super Saiyan. I never even heard of Super Saiyan. We're on the Saiyan saga. This is all you get is the repeating Saiyan saga on Cartoon Network every whatever. Once you get to I don't know, it's like 20 episodes into Namek, it just reset back to Raditz every time. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I mean, it was the same thing, and I was like, damn, what the fuck is all this? Why they got gold hair now? What the hell's going on? I need to know. And I used to go on the internet, primitive internet, and just read just what would be wiki, I guess, not back then, just read the story in text without seeing no visual at all, because I was like, I need to know what the fuck's going on here.
Right.
But yeah, that's, I mean, Dragon Ball largely, but yeah, I mean, all the shit from Toonami, like the Cowboy Bebops, the Yu Yu Hakusho, all that shit, that really anchored me in. Now I'm in this shit for good, and I'm not leaving,
Yeah. I love that time period, man, where the internet was shitty, man. You had the dial up. You couldn't be on the house phone internet, man.
Right. We all remember that dial up.
Go online, man. You typing in stuff that wasn't out yet. You want to be like, oh, well, there's Super Saiyan. What's Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4 look like? And there's all these fan made pictures and shit, man. That's a good time, bro. They're definitely nostalgic. Definitely.
For sure.
I feel that. Is Eagle back yet? Eagle, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think what kind of popped it off for me was when I was younger and I was watching Adult Swim and shit. I used to see Inuyasha, and I'm like,
that's another one, yeah.
I'm like, hold on, what is this? We got this girl. She's kind of doing her thing with her family. Oh shit, she just fell in a wet. Oh fuck, what is this fucking centipede, bitch? What the fuck? Whoa. And then he brings us into the demon world, and she meets Inuyasha and shit, and that, like Kiko says, you just get the feeling okay, this is a little different from the cartoons that I've kind of been watching here.
Right.
And then it's just the storytelling is different. You get into cool abilities like obviously Wind Scar, Wind Tunnel, all that kinds of shit you see in Inuyasha. And it just hits different than the cartoons. And yeah, like Kiko said, ever since that moment, I'm like, okay, where's some more of this kind of shit? Because these American cartoons, they don't hit the same.
They don't. I agree. Except for Avatar, but that's not. We're not talking about that yet.
That's a whole different.
It's a cartoon, but it's anime.
Yeah, to me,
it's basically anime. I agree.
It's got anime
just
quality.
Eastern influence, Western cartoon. They definitely, we're definitely looking over at anime.
Yeah,
okay,
for
I
sure.
Need to, assimilate as much of this as I can, because it's clear. I mean, that's kind of, I feel like, it was really ahead of the time, I guess. I don't know. There's still probably not too many American cartoons that try to, bring that Eastern influence over, but I feel like Avatar, they must have saw it. This shit's popping off. This is the next shit. We better get on board.
They had the tech. They definitely had some people. Had some people working with them, man, that had anime background. They definitely had to have.
Yeah.
I mean, Boondocks took a little bit of that fighting style, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
They did.
Well, it's
Yeah. Boondocks took the fight scenes.
When Huey pops off, it's different.
Personally, I would consider Boondocks to be more in the Avatar, realm of things, where it definitely moves into the anime style of, animations and topics and things of that nature, but it's very Afrocentric. So I definitely
another very anime feel in the moment in the Boondocks is the dodgeball.
The
episode.
dodgeball tournament was
that
God,
shit is crazy,
what?
bro.
Yeah,
So
many, bro. In the Kumite episode, there's so
the
many.
The Kumite
moments,
episode was hilarious. You got the Mortal Kombat reference too, and I'm just like, okay, we're here. But
man.
For me, I had moved into the country. I was born in England originally. When I moved into the country, the first thing I saw on television was Sailor Moon. Now, Sailor Moon was what opened the door for me, because when you're young, I was like 6 or 7. You just see all these flashy lights and the transformations and Tuxedo Mask and the rose, and it's just like I love Sailor Jupiter. I had the biggest crush on Sailor Jupiter ever. I don't know why I did, but I just did, right? And Venus too. And from that moment on, yes, Mars is Bay. I agree with that. And then from that moment on, Dragon Ball Z is what got me into it. Like Dragon Ball Z, I think it was. I remember I was grounded, and I was. We lived in this little apartment, and what would happen is like my room door was right in front of the television, and my cousins were watching Dragon Ball Z, and I will never forget this moment where I peeked open the door, and I shouldn't have done that, and I watched Goku turn Super Saiyan for the first time. And when I saw that moment, I was like, okay, Dragon Ball Z, it's over. It's over. And I went on this website called DragonBallZClips.com where they had already gone farther. And they were showing Japanese clips of Goku fighting Majin Buu, Goku fighting Cell. I saw all this stuff. I was spoiled early, but I didn't know what spoilers meant, so it just didn't matter to me. All of it was just cool. So from that moment on, I was exposed to the Japanese subbed anime. And then the English dub as well. So from that moment on, it was over for me. Like anime was like any anime that I saw. Obviously, we know 4Kids. Once 4Kids, WB17. Once they started putting like card captors, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece. The One Piece rap, Sonic X, all that stuff. That's kind of just those are like the original pioneers for Westerners to get into anime. WB17 and 4Kids were the pioneers for us to get into anime, I believe.
4Kids.
Yeah,
One
man, the
Piece.
piggyback
That's
is
right, man.
translation.
Toonami too. Yes, Toonami absolutely was. Yes, Toonami absolutely.
Yo, Tom was my guy.
Tom was different.
Hell yeah.
Tom was the guy, bro.
If anything, I would say Tom is the shonen anime pioneer. If anything, I would say that.
Dude, that's facts.
Tom is the pioneer because what happened is the promos would get you so excited to watch the anime itself, and you're just like, okay, I have to see this. And because of Tom, I found Gundam Wing. And once I found Gundam Wing, I got the action figures and I got into mechas, and I just went into a completely different like route of just
Man, you are so right about that too. Like I wonder who was writing up those promos and who the voice actor for Tom was, because
Tom's the greatest.
Tom
voice
is
actor of all
Spike.
time. Yeah,
He's a
Steve
goat.
Bloom.
Yeah, Spike
Really?
Spiegel, same
That's
voice
the
actor.
goat.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Wow.
That
makes sense.
Never knew that. That makes perfect
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Hell
My
yeah.
God.
But yeah,
You can
whoever
go
was
back and
writing up
watch those today, and
promos,
they
were
still
killing it.
feel so good.
Yeah, they still
yeah.
feel.
Yeah,
they
bro.
still slap.
I like the I don't know, you guys, I'm sure you guys remember. I don't even know why I would say that, but when they were trying to kind of give Tom a little storyline.
Yeah, bro, I'm
Yeah,
so
that shit-
invested.
That shit was
Yeah.
gas, bro.
But when
You would
they
like get upgrades every so many years. Like,
Yeah.
here's my new look.
Yeah, that shit's so
and when they
gas,
killed
bro.
when they killed my nigga Tom, bro, with that red little monster blob thing, bro, I was devastated. I was broken.
I ain't gonna
They
lie,
showed him
bro.
die,
It
bro.
hurt.
It broke my spirit. He really. I said, Tom died before my eyes, bro.
That shit hurt.
I said, my nigga Tom is dead.
Them anime devs hit differently.
They
though.
really
Yeah,
did,
They
man.
hit
For sure.
differently.
I can't believe that, but nah, Toonami definitely.
Damn, that's fucked up. They were showing kids like, yo, all good things
have to
Must
come
come
have
to
in.
an end, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, man. To piggyback off what Jay said too, man. For me, it took a while for me to get indulged in the sub anime. So like I didn't even know that was like a thing at the time for a while. Probably until I got to like middle school is when I was watching I think I was watching Shippuden at the time on TV, but I was like, man, I want to see more, like, because kind of what you were saying earlier, like once it gets to a certain episode, they just kept resetting it. So it's like, then I had some friends at school finally tell me like, hey man, there's like this website, and that's one of the first website, man. I know you guys remember it, fucking Naruto
get, yes sir.
fucking Bleach get, fucking. So
Watch One
I
Piece.
finally got to watch Shippuden, the in English sub, of course. At the time, also, I had no idea about fillers. I didn't know what fillers were.
Ooh, that
So like,
I didn't either.
I just watched them all, and I'll be confused. I'm like, yo, why are they on the beach? Like, what's going on? Like, I was confused, but I was like, hey, whatever. I just kept watching them. But yeah, man, my life changed completely. I think once I realized like, hey, I can go online and watch all of these things. Like, I don't have to wait for it to come on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to fan subs. Kaizoku fan subs goated.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Man,
Now,
shout out to all them sites.
An interesting question that I want to ask for you guys, because you guys all just mentioned the anime that started you guys off. Now, how do you think it shaped the generation that? Because our generation, I'm pretty sure we're all in our late 20 somethings. it seems as though we are like the grandfathers of the anime community, because now we see another anime community popping up. If you go on anime Twitter specifically, you see 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds. They're all getting hip to anime, and it's like everyone's like hype about Demon Slayer. You know what I'm saying? Promise Neverland. I like the Dio reference. I like that. And then you gotta just have all these new animes where everything is the best. Black Clover, for example, My Hero. Everyone's like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. We grew up with the early anime, and it shaped who we are today, right? Where you kind of have the first otaku or the first weeb, right? I don't like those stereotypes because we're just niggas who like anime, in my opinion. You know, we're just people who like anime. Now, how would you compare yourself to the younger generation? And do you believe the younger generation needs to understand their roots and where it came from? Like, do you believe that's a necessity for them?
I feel like.
go ahead.
Well,
I
I just personally, I'm probably the oldest one here. I'm 34, and I used to go to Suncoast and like the fucking just stores where I had to go buy VHSs, and I used to have a stack of Dragon Ball Z VHS with 3 fucking episodes on it. It cost me fucking $25. So I feel like all these kids owe me money personally. Like without me out here and people of my age buying that shit, before DVDs, that's when I learned about subs. Is when DVDs finally came out and I could get a DVD, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like I can just watch this. And I remember comparing them and being like, they're saying some different shit in writing here for some reason, and you know, that's there's a reason for it, and that kind of, you know, spurred me on eventually, you know, the same thing y'all are saying, where you jumped online, found all the, you know, fan subs and shit. But yeah, I don't necessarily feel like they need to go back and watch like Akira if they don't want to, right? Like they can, and it's great, and I would suggest it to them. But like, I mean, as long as
that's
people
one
are
to
being
me.
cool about it, I don't care, you know.
That one to me, Akira, is one I would say you do need to go back and watch.
Sure.
Because there are so many anime out nowadays. Say even in the fall season, Azoken or whatever, was that winter season just came out or whatever. Don't mess with Azoken. There was an Akira reference in that classic motorbike, you know, skidding out reference. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's in so many anime. So I mean, I think that's one where you should go back and watch Akira.
Agreed.
But do you need to go back and watch Dragon Ball Z if you've not seen it? I mean, like, do you really need to? Everyone knows Goku goes Super Saiyan. Everyone knows that he's like the first major transformation. You don't really need to go back, I don't think.
Me personally, I don't think so, because, and the reason I say that is because when we grew up, I don't know about you guys, but I know just people who I hung around and who I've met. We didn't go back and watch. Like when we grew up, Dragon Ball Z was the greatest thing ever. Couldn't tell us any different.
Yeah, we really couldn't.
Right, you couldn't tell us any different. And I'm pretty sure like the older guys who may have watched anime before, they're like, these kids don't know what the hell they talking about. You know?
Yeah,
so
Fist of the North Star and shit.
Like we had Fist of the North Star.
The original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we had Berserk, all these other different things. So, I mean, I just think that's the generational thing. And as we get older and as we, like, the grandfathers of, you know, the generation of anime for the people under us, it's just something we have to deal with, you know. I know it's a lot of triggering things, like Demon Slayer is the greatest, or Black Clover is the greatest, so forth and so forth. I know it triggers a lot of us, but at the same time...
Triggers me specifically, yeah.
Right, but, you know, I'm pretty sure we were the same way growing up and how they are to us.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I feel like for like Dragon Ball Z, man, like that's just one of those shows that's like it's like it's very different for me because like I feel like it's like one of those things that'll never die. You know what I mean? Like it's something that no matter what generation you are, I feel like people can just go back and watch it. Now, do I think they need to watch it? No, not necessarily. But I think it's just one of those things that will forever be alive. You know, like it's just such a huge thing. And people like sometimes, man, I just like to numb out and, you know, watch niggas box, you know, and that's Dragon Ball Z is like one of those things. Like it's just one of those things sometimes you can just put on, it's mind numbing, but it's enjoyable for what it is. And it's not all meathead moments. There are some good moments, but I agree. I don't think that it's something they necessarily have to go watch, but I think it's something that they will probably stumble upon at some point. Just because of how big it is and how relatable, it was for us, just on nostalgia reasons and stuff. So, yeah, I agree, though. I don't think they necessarily need to watch the old stuff because the new stuff is good, too, not all of it is, amazing. You know what I'm saying? Demon Slayer, but
Excuse me.
Hey, the new stuff's good too, man.
I feel that.
So that's how I feel.
So
Yeah, well, and just wait, one more thing real quick. I just wanted to say,
Go
like,
ahead.
because when we're talking about Dragon Ball, objectively, like, if you've seen a bunch of other things and you want to go back and watch Dragon Ball, like, you might be like, this is mid as fuck, like, and that's fine, and that one is, I don't know, just hard for me because no matter what, so One Piece is sold the most manga of all time, right?
Right.
But Dragon Ball is second, but it has half the volumes as fucking One Piece. Dragon Ball has really sold the most manga of, per capita or whatever the fuck you want, per volume, whatever you want to call, of all time. And so, like, I don't know, with whatever, 250 volume, or I mean, like 250, no, maybe it's more like 350, whatever it is, like 40 volumes or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, sometimes I feel like maybe you should just at least kind of do that, but like, what's Sailor Moon, I don't know, like, I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho, I love it and it's great, but it's like, I'll tell you, watch Hunter over, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Absolutely.
If I'm gonna pick a Togashi
Exactly.
piece,
Absolutely.
if I'm gonna pick a Togashi piece, it's like, you got, so like, I'm fine with it if the younger generation just says no. Yeah, I mean, Hunter's my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Togashi's a goat to me all day.
Yeah, Hunter objectively I think is better, but I'm biased, so I'll always suggest
Yeah.
Hakusho.
Hey, I'm repping it. I'm repping it too, man. I love you.
I always
Hakusho.
suggest
Just-
Hakusho, man.
Always.
Like I know
Hakusho.
Hunter for a new anime watchers, the thing that you
Yeah.
probably should suggest, but like you know how it is. You know how it is.
But that dub of Hakusho though.
It's different,
Yeah,
bro.
greatest dub of all time.
Super
That
It's
dub though.
different.
That dub
That's
is
the
the
greatest
greatest
dub right
And
there.
that's actually that.
definitely.
I'm glad you actually segued into that because that's something I want to mention now. A lot of us, there is this notion, and I fell prey to that for a little bit, but I think I'm definitely back on the right side of things where a lot of people don't appreciate dub the way it has been appreciated because the dub back in the day was excellent. Like dub, the old school anime that we're talking about, like Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, their dub was absolutely it was superior. It just straight up superior. And what's happening is that we have exposed ourselves so much to subbed anime now, where we're so used to the way the Japanese express themselves in emotional moments and the way they talk that the dub has possibly lowered in quality a little bit, or the moments just don't hit the way they do in subbed. But I think what's great about us as a Western culture is that the dubbed kind of made it easier for us to resonate and understand. Like Yusuke's voice will always be iconic. Kurobara's voice is one of the most iconic voices in dub, I think, in general, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Goku's voice, Frieza's original voice before, the whole refined and, little, dirty monkeys, that raspy voice that they used to have, Perfect Cell's eloquent voice. Like, these dubbed anime really, really brought us in to the world of anime where we could relate. And then for us, that's what took us to a place where we could appreciate both dubbed and subbed. But the newer generation, I don't think they're able to appreciate dubbed anime the way we did in the past. And I think that's a potential issue.
For sure.
So, like, if you take for example, if when you tell people to go back and watch, say, Death Note or Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Code Geass, something that's a little more in the 2000s, I feel like, do you guys think that it's necessary to go back just to appreciate dub more?
Sure. Kind of to your point about kind of maybe it lowering in quality. It's hard to really say that. I feel like it's just us getting used to it. Maybe. I mean, okay. Yu Yu Hakusho, I agree, is the greatest dub of all time. I feel like there was maybe a little bit more freedom they had to work with the script because Yusuke felt, especially when you're that age, like he really resonated with you, just a problem with authority and just the way he talked shit to everybody. Like anybody he encountered, he shit talked them and, like squared up every time. And like I don't care if it's a baby or a girl or a grandma, I'll still knock her out. When he's saying shit like that, it's like
He dodged no smoke.
that shit just sticks. It resonates with me personally. So like that hit hard. But I just think that the low pool of voice actors, when Funimation has 15 voice actors that they recycle in and out forever and ever and ever, it's like you recognize all these voices and I get why they do it.
Yeah.
But like It's like, okay, Piccolo is Vegeta, is Zoro, is fucking
Yeah.
Kuwabara, is like, it's like, you know, like Chris Sabat's great, man. I love Chris Sabat, but like, and he's got good range, but still, at the end of the day, like, I need some new voices in there. I need some fresh faces, you know.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I think, yes and no. I think that the superior dubs are definitely earlier anime in my opinion. But there's like some new stuff that actually has decent dub too. It's just people don't really give it a chance. Like MHA's dub's really good. I really enjoy their dub.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
with you. Yep.
Yeah, some people just
I like the new Hunter dub.
yeah,
The Hunter dub
it's
is
just like-
very good. Yes, I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's just like where, like you said, there's such a negative connotation to English dubbed anime now with the newer generation that they're not even giving themselves the opportunity to listen to something different. You know, like not everything is bad. You know, and you know, there's people will bash English dubbed anime like online and stuff like that, and people do take note to that because anytime you're like, hey. For instance, if I would suggest, you know, MHA dub to someone or Hunter dub to someone, like, hey, this dub's actually pretty good. The first thing they'll say is, oh man, English dub is trash. That's trash. I don't want like, and it's not the case with everything.
anyway.
They never even gave it a chance to begin with.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I guess as the older heads of this, you know, new generation, I guess we have to take it upon ourselves at times to kind of push more for the dub, because I know at times I myself personally would trash on the dubs, especially if I don't like it.
Right.
So I think, you know, for us being like the spearheads right now, we should probably do better in the future of, you know, promoting the dubs, because without dubs, none of us would be watching anime right now anyway.
That's a great point. And I know a lot of people who I recommend them a series and they're like, well, is that dubbed? Because they want a dub. They want to be able to like kind of not necessarily focus 100% of their attention on the screen. So they want to kind of be able, you know, do their homework or something and be able to still intake what's being said. Right. And if we keep telling people, oh yeah, you could get into this amazing story, but don't watch the dub. You can only watch the sub, or otherwise it's trash. Like maybe we'll turn people off. I totally agree.
Right.
Yeah, that and sometimes, man, some people don't like that negativity, man. If you say something like that, they might not even watch it in general.
Yeah.
Like. Like, you know, and I think the English dub thing is silly, man. And there's just so many like stigmas to it, and like so many weird arguments people have. And I won't go into detail with them because that's not what this is about. But it's just I just want people to, you know, be willing to try new things, man. Not everything is bad. You know, you can't believe everything that you just see on the internet, man. And I feel like everyone deep down should know that.
Right.
And it's just like, hey, just give yourself an opportunity to try something new, man, because you might be missing out on something great. And just because someone else doesn't like it doesn't mean you won't.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they both have their merits. I mean, you can say, you know, good things about either one. I mean, I feel like we've talked about mostly what's good with the dub. I mean, what I appreciate with like subs, or just when I'm reading manga, when I'm getting translator notes instead of, you know, translator, insert, you know, bullshit here, you know, like I prefer that, you know, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of dubs. It's like I just turned on like Sword Art Online dub, and I was just like, I'm just gonna put this on my TV and walk away, and I'm not really gonna pay attention to it, but it's like something that's on, like Nickums was saying, like I don't have to really care about it, you know. So like I like both, but I do believe like if there's gonna be a joke, a Japanese joke, and an American translator, English translator is going to have to either make something completely up that's not even, you know, close, you know, insert corny American joke here, instead of like actually explaining to us like what's going on with like a translator note. Like, and I get why you can't do that in a dub, but like I personally like to see like what's actually going on with the culture and learn more, you know, and just take it in, you know. I feel like as close that I can, as naturally as I can, being that I don't speak the language, you know.
And that's
for sure.
And that's
go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
And that's one thing I'm glad you brought up, just because a lot of people like to do the comparisons, and this kind of goes in hand in when you have an anime versus manga perspective, where people are very, very upset with an anime, and I've been guilty of this as well, where it's just like the anime does not match the source material, and the anime goes in different perspectives. But one thing that I try to stress, and I'll use Tokyo Ghoul for an example, a lot of people are not happy with the Tokyo Ghoul anime, but if you take the Tokyo Ghoul anime for what it is, as an anime itself and judge it based on what it gives you, the anime is actually a very, very good anime. Like at least season 1 for sure. And then you get the manga, and the manga is just as good as well, if not leagues better. I understand. So then for dub and sub, the experience that you get subbed, or no, the experience you get dubbed for Yu Yu Hakusho, it's a different type of feeling that you'll get, just in general. And if you watch it in subbed, it'll still be good. But it's like, as an American, as someone who speaks English, Yu Yu Hakusho will hit different for you. It just does.
Yeah.
It relates to you more. And I feel like a lot of people need to take that kind of in its own way. Because one, I think what I really like about dub is if the dub is done well, what they'll do is they'll translate the jokes that they have that's more of a Japanese culture type of joke and translate it to an American format of jokes where you can understand it and it still has the same delivery. And I think that's where you should judge a dub, whether it translates to American or English culture or Western culture well enough for you to understand the context of what's going on. Right? Yeah. And I feel like a lot of
problem.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, I feel like
I was gonna say
go ahead.
Someone in the chat brought up a good point, and I kind of agree with him. Joshua Tucker in the chat says it says my only problem with dubs is it sounds like every voice is a white guy, and I think what he's trying to say is the voices sound very generic, and and that goes kind of piggybacking what Jay is saying. They have to take the time to look at the characters, who they are, and find voice actors that can match that character. Yes. Like when you look at Yu Yu Hakusho, for instance, they did a very good job of differentiating the voices for each character depending on their tropes and their personality. And I feel like a lot of dubs that sometimes they don't take that time. So it comes off bad to us because they're just like, okay, we just need voices. We just need voice actors for these characters. Yeah. But they don't take much time to think about it. So it translates bad to us. So definitely, yeah, I 100% agree with you and Joshua in the chat. I think when the voices are generic and there's no thought into them, that translates bad for us.
Agreed. And I think that's just
I definitely agree with that.
I think that's a cry. Yeah, go ahead, JD, because you were trying to say something before.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, speaking on that point, piggybacking on what you said, yeah, it is definitely a thing with all the voices sound generic, as well as the culture of it. Like, let's say, for instance, you have a black character and you have a white character. They kind of sound the same, have the same kind of mannerism instead of differentiating each character as far as that much. So I do understand that. As far as I was gonna say it before that, I totally forgot.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Well, and there's a little bit I could add to that too. From Kenshin, there was Cho the Sword Hunter, and he was supposed to have like a Hick dialect because he's from whatever part of Japan where their dialect is completely different from maybe people from Kyoto or Tokyo or whatever at the time.
Right.
And their solution to that, like, hey partner, it's like, he ain't Western, man. I mean,
that's not country. That's what.
Yeah. Like it's like I it just don't sit right with me. And I know what you were trying to do. Yeah, like I know what you were trying to do, and I don't really have the answers on what you can do to really. I don't know. But regardless, it's just like you may as well. In that case, maybe it's fine to be generic there because it's like you can't just pick a dialect out of hat that you determine is country or hick or whatever. And I mean, Western probably, I guess, maybe fits fine. I guess, but
some of that stuff is hilarious, man. I don't know if you guys watched the new seasons of Baki on Netflix at all?
Not yet, no.
No.
Well, you don't really need context on the show, but there's a point in one of the seasons, I can't remember exactly, where it's all Japanese dubbed, English subbed, but they're saying American association names, and I guess they didn't want to be disrespectful, so they said them as best as they could in like an American.
Yeah.
So like they were talking about like FBI and stuff, and that shit's hilarious, bro. They're like FBI, Army, they said it.
They do that a lot. They do that a lot.
Yeah, that shit's hilarious, bro. Really, that shit's hilarious.
I think one thing, and to Kiko, to your point, I think one solution that they can have is one, they should encourage more people to actually try out as dubbed actors.
pull from
from
all sorts of races and cultures and
exactly.
religions and everybody. Pull for everybody you can. Get people from those areas if you can, like if possible. But yeah, it's back to the point with Funimation. You got 15, voice actors that are
Exactly.
recycling through in and out. It's like eventually it gets tired, and
Right.
Exactly.
falls off for you.
And
And
then
that could be why dub isn't as highly regarded as it used to be.
it is. And then I think also is that since we're a growing community and like we're talking, like we're the old heads of the community, and we're having families now, and we're having kids, and our kids are going to watch anime, and they're going to like anime, things of that nature. Think about people like us in our age bracket. We would be the best type of people to approach and be like, you've been watching anime for years and you have different types of background. Your voice sounds nice. Like, how about we try you out? Like, I feel like the scouting system needs to be bigger. There need to be advertisements. They need to put it out on, say, Twitter, for example. Anime Twitter is massive. Anime Twitter is gigantic. So if you put out a notion, hey, we're looking for voice actors who are capable of a southern dialect, you'd be shocked at the amount of people that would throw their hat in the ring, and all of a sudden you'd have a whole new breed. You have programs where you can train people to use their voice correctly, like there's many things that they could do to improve the quality of dub, and the better dub you have, the more reach you have with Western culture, because Western culture right now, anime has never been bigger in Western culture than it is now, and it's only going to get bigger.
Correct.
So now is the time for your dub to increase. If your dub is getting better and better, you need to find new talent, because Chris Sabat's gonna die soon, right? Like, he's not gonna be around for long. Right? You can't keep relying on these same guys over and over again. You have to expand. You have to expand more. And I don't think the answer is getting more celebrities, and actors and putting them in, because I don't want to hear Denzel Washington voicing an anime character. I want to see Denzel Washington act. So it's just like you have to think outside the box in that sense. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I will say though
I think
that
that's an incredible
Christian
idea,
Bale,
actually.
I would say
Now,
Christian
would they
Bale
do it?
as a Howl in Howl's Moving Castle, fire voice actor. He was very good.
I bet, yeah. No, and then, another anime, I don't know, I would consider this an anime, Castlevania. The dub in Castlevania is excellent. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen it, the Netflix animated series.
I've
If
seen
you
it.
watch
I've heard
that,
of it, yeah.
the dub is brilliant. I'm talking like, there's some voices I don't recognize at all, and they're just excellent.
I don't recognize a lot of those voices. Yeah, no, that's top tier voice acting for sure. And is it dubbed or was it in English to begin with?
It might have
I'm
been
not
just
sure.
been English to begin with. I'm pretty sure. Actually, that's a good point. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check to
Yeah,
see if
we'll
they
have
have
to
this.
look that up.
The English accents are on point. I mean, hey, you can be the judge of that. It seems like it to me, but like that's all the voices I felt like in Castlevania really slapped hard. Hell yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. But Sensei asked us a question, and I guess this is good. What if some of you have kids, I don't, but if you do, what anime would you make your kids watch first? Say they're age 6 or 7, for example.
What would be the first one I start them on?
Yeah.
My Hero.
One Piece.
Pokemon, I guess. For
One Piece is too
6-year-old,
hard. Like, it takes such an attention span. Like, there's such a big story to it. It's hard to. I don't know if a kid would be able to keep interest in it.
Yeah, I'll probably do something small, maybe Pokemon or Dragon Ball. Something that's just kind of simple as possible to keep their attention span.
Right.
Unless my kid was like really bright, then I'll start them off on something deep. But
I think the beauty of One Piece is that it kind of reaches every audience. You can start at a very young age, and you can just watch the colors. You can watch the adventure. You can watch Luffy just being Luffy, and a child can be entertained for endless amounts of time. But then if you have someone, say, in there's teens, there's certain themes in what, like, so for example, what happened with Nami, right? Her story could resonate with a teenager really, really well. Usopp as well, another very good story. And then you could go into the adult realm where you talk about Fishman Island and the themes of racism and the themes of being included, the Tenryou Bito, Sabaody. Like, One Piece seems like the reason why a lot of people consider it the GOAT is because it kind of just reaches any audience in general, except for maybe the romance audience, but that's a different story. But I would argue One Piece and then probably Dragon Ball Z still. Honestly, if you don't mind your child
simple
seeing
enough.
violence, yeah.
Dragon
It's
Ball Z
simple
is
enough.
still
It's
a
simple.
solid option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your kids ain't got a lot to wrap their mind around. Hey, I punch real fast. I shoot a blast. All right, cool. You know, like,
Or you can do another simple one like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh is good too, and that's actually I'm glad we talked about that because the 4Kids animes that we saw, right? So we're talking Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Card Captors, stuff like that. A lot of people view them as just cartoons when they've always been anime. What do you think their influence has had on our generation and the generation afterwards? Because they all use Yu-Gi-Oh memes still, and they all are like watching Yu-Gi-Oh, playing the games and stuff like that. And Beyblade too. Throw Beyblade in that category.
I just gotta say, if my kid can't watch One Piece, they ain't getting no supper. That's the kind of thing
Getting
and
no
I
supper.
started dying when I saw Salamander Red. I started dying when I saw
Yeah, I kind of feel him though. He kind of spitting right now.
He kind of
Yeah,
spitting.
oh, yeah. He's spitting out,
I'm
definitely.
saying.
My whole goal is to have like a nice little treasure chest and have all the One Piece volumes. And when my son turns 12, I'm like, son, this is your mission. This is I'll hand him volume 1. I said, I need a book report.
I need an essay. I need that shit MLA format.
MLA format. I said, listen, you gonna get A on all your book report, and we're gonna start with One Piece. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Teach my son how to write real quick. Like, you better analyze the story, and if you're wrong, I'm gonna hit you. That's cap. I'm not gonna do that.
But
not gonna do that. No, we don't do that.
I don't have kids. Yeah, I don't have kids yet. But my younger brother, the first thing I got him watching was Naruto. He loved that shit, man. He loved Naruto, and he didn't understand a lot of the story because he was young. He was probably like 6, 7. But Naruto's another one, man. It's like, yeah, there's some deeper stuff to it, bro. But man, like, there's some stuff that you can pick up on. He picked up on, the whole, theme of Naruto and him being chastised throughout the village. He picked up on it, not in detail, but we talked about it. And it's like, kids, they absorb stuff like sponges, man. So
Yeah.
I think definitely if you wanted to get them to watch something, it should be something with some, some sub themes in it that, would be beneficial for them. And that's something great about anime, man. It's like, and we've all had experience with anime. So, like a lot of times, man, anime has these overall themes that we can relate back to real life. And I think that's why it's so amazing, bro, because it's entertainment for us, but we are learning stuff through these characters, man. Right. So it's just dope.
Things that take place.
Yeah, I mean, I think shonen anime in general just teach your kids to have heart, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of your job as a parent and as a dad. I feel like is your job, but you can really liken real life situations to the struggle of a shonen protagonist and what they go through. Like, and even though you're not gonna have to arm wrestle Nobunaga and get your hand smashed into the thing every time, you still are going to face challenges and to see how courage and that kind of thing, so as long as it's shonen to be Hunter, again, it's a little too far, it's too much, but shonen is fine, just get them on the shonen and start, trying to educate them on what they're seeing, just
all
like
their
you're saying.
friendship.
So
someone in the chat says something about sports anime. What do we all feel like the pioneer for sports anime is?
Prince of Tennis.
Slam Dunk.
Prince of Tennis and Slam Dunk. Those two, I would say in particular. Ice Shield can count as well, but Prince of Tennis premiered on Toonami specifically. And then that's what got me into sports anime. So I would argue Prince of Tennis and Slam Dunk for sure. But Slam Dunk never really premiered on television.
Yeah.
So the first thing that comes to my mind specifically is Prince of Tennis. I think to me that was the first sports anime that was televised in our Western culture.
Even though I don't think Prince of Tennis is the best, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you don't even have to think it's the best.
I can't answer like specifically, but for me, what got me into sports anime in general was Ippo, but I wouldn't say Ippo's the first thing that I watched that was sports anime related. So I'm not really good. I can't really answer this question too much because I didn't watch a lot of sports anime when I was younger.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, the first sports anime I watched was Haikyuu, and that was fairly recently. But that shit slaps.
Right. I'll probably say my first one was I'm trying to remember. It was either Kiriko or Baby Steps. It was one of those. That was my first. I can't remember.
Baby Steps was good. Baby,
Right.
that's
I love Baby Steps.
I think that's one of the first sports anime that you see that was like had the realistic sense to it, because the sports anime we'd seen before are very super
Over the
powered,
top.
especially Princess
Yeah.
Tennis. Princess Tennis was just out of pocket. I'm talking guys killing dinosaurs out of pocket. Like, I'm not kidding.
Right.
It was just ridiculous. But no, sports anime is definitely another genre that is bringing a lot of athletes into anime. Like, if you look at now, you look at things like Haikyuu, who is a shonen anime. I think Haikyuu, Ace of Diamond, these are shonen sports anime that are bringing people to the sports side of things, where you're like, wait a minute, sports anime can be good. I'll give Kuroko no Basket its credit. That is probably the most popular sports anime to bring everybody to the side of sports anime, just because it gave you that Dragon Ball Z sense in a basketball format, where it's just like, everything I'm seeing is really cool right now. And then there was like, what's the other sports anime that I can see that would make me resonate with the athlete? Because the story of an athlete is kind of something that people don't really think about too much. And when you put it in an anime format, it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's all about working hard and trying to perfect your craft and your skill, opposed to like superpowers. And it's like those authentic ones, like we were saying with Kuroko, Ace of Diamond. Another series, I don't know if y'all read this series, it's not an anime yet, but Blue Lock.
I've heard that's very good. I want to check that out. I heard that's
Blue Lock
good.
is very good. But just series like that, it definitely resonates with a lot of people who play sports. And
Blue Lock is the soccer joint, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I see a lot of good reviews for that. Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Lock is fire. Blue Lock is fire.
Yeah.
It's up there with Haikyuu and Ace of Diamond.
Well, and I think probably where you're from, like basketball is going to hit over here because it's second most popular sport. I mean, football is technically the most watched sport in America per, game. It's only 16 games a year, but per game, and then basketball is number 2. So like ATC2020. I mean, I don't know, like.
Might have hit over here, but it just all depends. Like, were you able to get the anime? Was it on TV? Was it easy?
What the heck just happened?
Kuroko, like I feel like that was like the first, and even for me to kind of like turn my head to and say, okay, maybe I should look at this, because it's like traditionally I didn't fuck with sports anime, like, and it's not because I don't love sports, because I watch a shit ton of real sports, like, hey, I'll rep my team every rip, T-Wolves, like I play everything. It's just, to me, I was like, that's not really what I'm coming to anime for. But now I kind of see the crossover, and like I've been really kind of meaning to go back and look at some of them older ones and try to get into it more.
Right. Definitely.
So I feel that. So next I wanted to talk.
Touching every genre now, by the way.
Yeah, we're definitely going to. I feel like we're going to, but it depends as long as it's under the umbrella of shonen. But I think what I wanted to talk about, and this is one of the biggest topics I really want to talk about, the impact of the big 3. Now, this is by general consensus. We're talking One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. Now,
that is the big 3. It's not.
That is the big 3.
That is the big 3. Now, these are 3 of arguably the most successful anime and manga that have ever existed in shonen, period. And I feel like once they established themselves, anime blew up. Like, it went in every single direction. I feel like they're pioneers for everything. The ninja world, the swords, the adventure. All just in different categories. So, one, I'm pretty sure all of us have seen them all. If we haven't, I would advise you definitely, if there's any anime that you need to make sure you watch for your true anime fan, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, it has to be done. There's no excuses. None.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you guys.
But One Piece is so long.
This is a controversial question. Which one of the big 3 would you say has the most impact on anime today?
One Piece is not
One
close.
Piece.
Like, One Piece
Today?
is the most One Piece is the most impactful and meaningful. Everything all together. Stomps the
It's
shit
borderline.
out of it. Not close. Not close.
One
He
Piece
said it's
is
not
a
close.
borderline
Fuck both of
religion
those.
in Japan.
That's true. It is. It is borderline.
Slayer kinda takes that one
Naruto hits
over.
over here. Naruto hits over here more than One Piece, but that's
Exactly.
not One Piece's fault. That's 4Kids' fucking fault. Like if they didn't put a
True.
fucking sucker in Sanji's mouth and did all sorts of,
I like
did all
4Kid
sorts of
Sanji.
other
Come on, dog. Yo.
no.
I love 4Kid Sanji.
Oh,
oh man, I sold you. I'll make your food for you, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, he's French, goddammit. Like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, they
whatever.
did do him dirty.
Yeah, like,
They did
that's
dirty,
that's
man.
for kids
I
and
love
fucking
it.
WB's fault. Like, that's not One Piece's fault. Like, hey,
Yeah.
One Piece had a front page fucking article in the New York Times when fucking it hit 300 million. Let's see any other manga ever do that shit. You know, like
a good point.
they haven't.
Yeah.
And One Piece is number 1, Naruto's number 4, and Bleach is number 10 of all time selling manga. So
Okay.
even though they are the big 3 and they're all important, and I love them all in their own ways, I mean, One Piece is the GOAT. Like, this
One
is how
Piece
it
is
is.
hit different, bro. It's just on a different level in every
It just
category.
is.
Like,
Just is every category.
you know what I'm saying?
Except for
One-
fight choreography, Naruto still
Yeah.
and Bleach.
Yeah, I think
and
Naruto.
Bleach-
I think
yeah.
Naruto got the best fights. Period.
Yeah, fight choreography and
But-
like hand-to-hand fight. Yeah. I mean that's
But
that's their bread and butter.
as
though.
far
like,
as-
One Piece is
yeah.
storytelling
As
plus
far as-
everything
yeah.
else. You know.
Go
As
ahead,
far
sir.
as like just impact, like One Piece just got it in the bag. World building in
Yeah.
the bag.
Yeah, agreed.
Like
I think
I was-
as far as worldly impact, I would agree One Piece definitely, and I would even venture to say personally for me, One Piece has far and away been the most impactful to me personally.
say for me personally, I would say Naruto. Just off
Yeah,
the
I mean,
I
it's-
was wondering when someone was going to bring up Naruto because I think
Right, I would
Because
say
that's
as
the
a
only
global
other
co-
choice. It's not Bleach. Bleach can't.
It's hard to put
like
It's
Naruto is the
hard to
only
just say
other
like One
you
Piece
can
is the
say.
one, and there's no other
Right.
option because like
Because-
Naruto hits,
I'm
and
saying-
it was really impactful for me as
Right,
well.
Naruto was I think, other than probably Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, Naruto was the next one to really hit
Yes.
outside of Japan into other cultures.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you go, at least everybody knows the Naruto run. If
bro,
anything.
Right?
Man,
Everybody at least knows
everybody
Naruto run.
did there was always that
I
one
ain't gonna
kid.
lie.
You're right.
And I ain't
There
gonna
was
lie,
always
I
that
agree with
one
JD,
kid
bro.
in one show. It was always a Naruto run.
I mean,
I agree with
anime on
JD,
his
bro.
side,
Because for me, like I didn't start reading One Piece until like the end of last year. So for me, like growing up, definitely as far as speaking for me personally, Naruto is definitely the most impactful for me as well. Like I just remember times, bro. I never did a Naruto run, bro, but I damn sure try to do some hand signs a lot.
Oh, boy,
Everybody,
boys,
everybody tried to.
You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
did that Chidori at least 1 or 2 times.
Yo,
a lot.
everyone tried to do the little fireball, katon, you know, to start breathing. Listen,
Oh, Kakya no
man.
jutsu.
Listen, man.
Exactly.
I wanted,
So I'll say definitely outside of Japan, I would say Naruto.
I wanted to argue that because I think Naruto was the catalyst for anime blowing up in Western culture because Naruto
Yeah, you guys
was
are right. You guys are right.
Naruto was on Toonami. Naruto was big. The dub for Naruto was big. The Chunin exams, still to this day, is probably the greatest Naruto arc right now. Maybe, you know,
not gonna
obviously
argue
Pain.
that.
Yeah, you could.
Kid
It could be
Naruto-
argued.
Sasuke retrieval arc.
Sasuke retrieval arc was
Yeah,
excellent
Sasuke
too.
Retrieval arc was fine.
Yes, but like we're talking like from what we saw as kids and what blew up on Toonami, the Chunin exams was brilliant.
Oh,
Orochimaru,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
one of the most iconic. Orochimaru is one of the most iconic Shonen villains ever, ever.
definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's just like Naruto was that anime for such a long time, and then One Piece slowly started to creep into the Western culture, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And the only thing that hurt One Piece, like you mentioned, was 4 Kids. 4 Kids hurt One Piece. It really
They
did.
almost made it so we would never have gotten an actual dub in America. Like it was shelved for
Yeah.
fucking like
It
12
was
years
crazy.
after fucking.
I would
before
almost say
Funimation
One
picked
Piece
it
Shit
back
bad,
up.
bro. That
It's
shit
that bad.
bad.
They shelved it for 12 months, even though or
Yeah.
12 years, even though it's the highest selling
Hey,
manga of all
and
time.
I just want to,
like that's crazy.
I just want to say this, and I think it goes without saying. I'm speaking for me, and I'm sure everyone else. We're not shitting on Bleach, bro. I love Bleach. You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
Bleach
But-
too. I ain't trying to shit on Bleach.
But
either.
One Piece and Naruto were just
yeah,
different, bro.
They
Like,
did.
Bleach ain't on its level.
Well,
Bleach
they
ain't on
made
their
it.
level.
They made it.
And I would even argue that One Piece, like, still arguably hasn't made it to the point on the Western front
It has
that
not.
Naruto
It hasn't.
Not
did.
yet.
It has.
Not
yeah,
yet.
yeah, you're right.
Even
If
after
you go to-
Naruto's been over
Yeah.
for years.
I think Toei can do it though, man. They got the potential, man. I think they could.
Oh, for
man.
sure.
They
They can
1,000%
do
could do it. I think.
Toei been going crazy.
They're pushing so many things over in the West. My Hero, Black Clover, and I don't.
I'm glad you brought that up because
I don't know.
I feel like in the newer generation, ever since I guess Naruto, My Hero's the first one to really like slam anime into the Western
Yes,
front.
My Hero has
like,
been very
and
popular.
surged
My Hero
Very, very
in the way
popular.
it did.
Yeah.
Because when season 1 of My Hero dropped, everyone was going crazy.
Oh
Everyone.
god,
yeah.
bro. I was on it. I ain't gonna lie. I was
Oh,
on the
yeah.
hype train.
My Hero
Yeah,
definitely
for
made
sure.
it into
I
the
have,
West.
and you know what's funny is I have these are people coworkers that I had, and they never really experienced anime at all. And she's one of my best friends, and her boyfriend, one of the first things they watched was Naruto, and this is in 2018. Think about that. They're watching old school Naruto in 2018, and they liked it so much. They tried Dragon Ball Z. They said, it doesn't really make sense to me. Then they watched My Hero, and they said, oh, we just finished season 4 of My Hero. Me and my boyfriend love it.
Right.
These guys don't have, some people, you can tell if they like anime or not. I would never expect these guys to like anime.
Right.
Ever. And they love My Hero. They love it. So it's like My Hero is doing a massive job in Western culture right now.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
Because I remember one time I went to go get some food one time, and I'm going in, nothing special. I had on a All Might shirt, and the guy was like, "Wait, is that My Hero?" I was like, "Yeah." I mean, all it says on it is All Might, and it has his face. But just the fact that he knew his face and he knew All Might, and it was somebody who you'll never expect to even think about watching anime.
Right.
But just the fact that he knew that, I was like, My Hero made it.
Hey, bro, it'd be a lot of. Hey, speaking of that, it'd be a lot of people, bro, that you'd be shocked. You think,
Right.
and then that goes back to what Jay was saying earlier. Anime so big over
It's
here.
so big.
We're such in the culture now that, man, a lot of people you think would never
It's
watch this.
normalized.
They know
Well,
they might surprise you, bro. They might know a lot more than you think.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
who knows,
This-
it might have always been, but I feel like it was definitely more of a closeted interest.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm
Right.
glad you brought it.
it was
Absolutely.
growing up
Yeah.
and everything is definitely. Was
I
fire.
never used to talk to
Yeah,
people
yeah.
about anime as a kid, and that was one of the
No,
worst
never.
things.
God,
that
I didn't.
oh my
Bro,
God.
Because I
grew
mean,
up-
back then it was like, oh, you watch anime?
You're a nerd.
Oh, you watch those Chinese cartoons? Yo, I hated it. I hated when they said Chinese, bro.
It's always Chinese.
Always Chinese. I'm like, you
bro,
racist. I was like, yo.
That thing was taboo, man. Like I grew up in shitty areas, bro. That was taboo. And the schools that I went to, nigga, the school was the anime. Nigga, you never knew what protagonist you was about to get. That motherfucker, that shit, man. Look, that's just something you just don't mention to certain kids. You know what I'm saying? Growing up.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of us, in those shitty areas, did watch anime, but we just, like you said, it was closeted. We just didn't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's so culturally accepted.
Right.
It's like everybody can watch
It's
anime.
not weird. It's not weird to like anime anymore.
That's
It's
the
not.
question.
It's way more accepted.
It's
now.
way more. Oh yeah, I mean definitely. I'll definitely say that because I mean again, I'm probably the oldest here. Like I remember being in middle school when Dragon Ball Z came out in '97 or whatever on Toonami originally.
Right.
And yeah, like nobody talked about it. And I remember like getting a little older. Like I don't know, maybe it's like freshman year in high school. Like Dragon Ball Z's been out for a couple years. And some people were kind of hip to it, but no, still definitely super taboo. Didn't really talk to anybody about it. But some people, like I don't know, closer people know that I fucked with it, right? And so they'd be like, if people are like, "Hey man, this shit," they always like send people my way. Hey, go ask my guy over here. He knows all that shit. And you would get people that would be so apprehensive, really, to even talk to you about it. And it's like,
Yep.
hey man, obviously I love the shit, so you can definitely come talk to me. And I also remember people too trying to clown me, shit like that way early in life. And it's like,
Losers,
well,
yeah.
shit, man. Like, and I'm from the shit too. Like, it was not accepted anywhere near in my hood at all. And like, it was really hard to ever like say this. And it's crazy now that I'm this age, and it's like you see all these people I grew up with in my city, now coming back to me like, oh, anime is tight, I guess, even though you tried to tell me that 20 years ago. And now
I was like,
You get a little bitter, bro.
yeah, get a little bitter. Get mad, bro. Get mad, Kiko. Let him know.
hey, you want me to put you on now?
And I feel like
Get the fuck out of here. What?
Well, that was
I
a
feel like only
backhanded
recently
compliment.
too, like within the last maybe 5-10 years, it's become like a really accepted mainstream kind of thing. Because I mean, I would say, I don't know everybody say, I would say I'm probably one of the youngest here. I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm the same age as you, bro.
And even when I was in middle school and like going into high school, like there was a very small group of people that were like open about liking anime, and that would like, we'd go out to recess and we would play Naruto and shit, play, pretend fight. But, then other people that I was friends with would be like, oh, what are you doing out there playing at recess, playing pretend with the nerds? I'm like, bitch, I'm fucking
That's what you
well,
mean.
bitch, you don't want this shit. Fuck yeah, I'm playing pretend.
You want to cast your shuriken, bro? Keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That shit make you bitter though, bro. For real.
I want to read
real.
this comment
Go
real
ahead.
quick.
Yeah,
'cause
go
this,
ahead.
This is still relevant to today. All right, so Salamander Red said, dudes with Pokemon backpacks tried to clown you for like anime.
Yo, for real.
And it's still relevant because people
man.
wear
Shameless.
anime merchandise and was clown you
That
if you
shit
say
be
you
blowing
watch
me.
anime.
Bro, they used to come up with the Beyblade stadiums and everything, talking about, oh, I don't like anime, but Beyblade Raw. I'm like, my nigga, do you not know that's Japanese? Like, are you serious?
That's when you gotta let them know. They're
What do you think Kai stands for? Kai is a Jap. Look at Ray. He's got a headband on. He's Japanese. Like, what do you think? Like, they just didn't know.
Right.
They just didn't get it. And I
my
also,
God.
I want to
Crazy.
defend Bleach because we have not talked about Bleach enough. The thing with Bleach that I believe is why it's part of the big three is because what happened is with Shonen, you didn't get the type of violence and blood that you got with Bleach. So Bleach was more the more raw side of things where you see the shonen aspect, but you get the raw seinen feel where, oh my god, Ichigo just got cut and blood is flying. I'm talking like, you remember when Renji first faced Byakuya and he got cut by his Bankai, blood splurted everywhere, and you're just like, oh my god, this is crazy. And you look at Kenpachi, and Ichigo's cutting him up everywhere, blood's flying everywhere, and Kenpachi is still
Kenpachi
swinging,
taking it like a
still
G,
swinging. He don't care.
taking it like
Right.
a G, bro.
Listen, so it's just like for Bleach, I think Bleach was very impactful because one, it opened the eyes and it was a pathway to seinen. When I watched Bleach is when I got interested in Berserk and seinen manga in that sense. So Bleach is the eye opener for you like the more raw side of things in animation because it's not actually real people getting cut, so it's easier for you to swallow. And then obviously you have the shonen feel, so it's like you like anime in general, you like Ichigo, you like the Rukia or Hime's, you know, all the cool stuff, you know, your fan service, and then cool swords, cool transformations. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Bankai to me is one of the most iconic transformations ever. Bankai,
Man, that
Super
shit hard.
Saiyan,
Bro, that first time
iconic
you-
transformations,
Bankai.
bro. Literally the way he said it, like,
Bankai against Byakuya,
Boy.
boy.
I don't know if you would count this as a transformation, but activating that Sharingan was definitely.
ooh, that Sharingan was
It's
different.
definitely iconic.
Yo, the eye techniques in Naruto, oh
Right.
my lord, I wanted a Sharingan so
Sasuke's
bad.
first Sharingan.
Yes.
That shit was lit.
When he got 2 claws instead of 1, I said,
he
yo, he
got
got
two,
2! Yo!
And that's when shit changed. It was like,
Man,
oh,
when they was
snap.
when they was fighting, what's the dude's name? Zabuza.
Yes, the
Yeah,
Zabuza
that was
fight was
And
iconic.
Naruto lost
Yes.
it for the first time.
Oh, yeah,
that was
yep.
hard.
Demon transformations, yeah.
that was
When they were
hard.
fighting Haku, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
lord,
man.
bro.
Crystal
That
Ice
was
Bros,
hard.
yeah.
And then you remember when
Hell yes.
the mystery around the Rinnegan, when you first saw the Rinnegan, you saw like all the spirals in his eyes, and I was just like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? You thought that was the most powerful eye ever, like nobody can touch the Rinnegan, and then Naruto just went wild and just completely made the Rinnegan irrelevant. I was like, come on, man, like I was like, come on, man, like we liked it. Let's just leave it at
The
that.
Sage mode.
Hey,
and all
I
that.
ain't gonna lie, Nagato Pain, bro. That was different, bro. When he first pulled up and
Yeah.
he just destroyed the village.
Oh yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Boy, I
Pain
was like,
came in
oh,
like a G,
bro. When he
bro.
bodied
Yeah.
everybody, I'm
Yo,
like, no,
Shinra-
nobody can
yo,
stop.
boy,
Nobody can stop this nigga.
Almighty push, bro. Oh my
I was like,
lord.
I literally, I remember telling myself like, nobody's stopping this nigga.
Yo,
Nobody's
speaking of
stopping
that,
him.
I want to ask y'all a
Naruto could
question.
have ended right there.
But then
I
when
was happy.
Naruto came in with the frogs, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bro, that
Yo,
was
Oh
hard.
my god.
I want to ask y'all something since we brought up Pain and his entrance. Which entrance y'all think was better? Madara's entrance at the Shinobi War or Pain's entrance during the Pain War?
Madara.
Yeah, Madara scene is one of the greatest anime scenes.
Madara just came
when
in.
you say
Okay,
Madara,
okay. I just wanted to know because I feel the same way.
When
but I
he's
just-
actually
When he
he's
shows up
actually-
as his true self and bodies the entire army.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The animation was trash, but
No
hey,
question.
Listen,
yeah, when he was bodying the Shinobi Alliance, they could have did a little bit better on that. Man.
listen, man.
Well-
I will say when Madara, that's like, you remember how we used to think the Sharingan was like the ultimate thing where you could read people's movements and things, and then all of a sudden people just didn't care about that anymore. When Madara pulled up and you saw his eyes moving at 2,000 miles an hour, you realize, oh wait, he knows to use the Sharingan, and nobody's touching this man. Nobody's touching him. Yeah.
That
Dropping
sequence
meteors
that,
out the
that
sky, just
Oh
everything.
my god.
yes.
And these are like,
Then he
and-
fought.
Bro.
Then he fought the 5
oh,
Kage.
these
like,
are
by
Jonin.
himself.
It's like that's what I'm
Bro, he
saying.
was
During that
snapping.
during that sequence when Onoki stops the meteor, that was
Right.
one of the
He
coldest
was like,
little just
"Oh, okay."
that 5 seconds he said, "Oh,
Oh,
You stopped.
how about
Okay,
another
he
one?
was
What
like-
are you
How
gonna do about another one? Or no
Oh no, it was like
I'm
another
like,
one.
Oh,
I said, yo, no one has
Yeah,
ever
Madara
beaten this
was
man to this
snapping,
day.
man.
And then when he fought Guy Sensei, and Guy Sensei virtually whooped his, I'm talking Guy Sensei whooped his ass, and he said, "Man, Guy, you were great, bro. Honestly, when I kill you, bro, I'm gonna tell everybody you the best taijutsu." I was like, "When I kill you?"
Yeah, he called God
Madara
bastard. He was mad. He was
declare
mad
you
at like, yo, you almost killed me. Like,
You said it's
yo,
crazy.
you really almost killed
Wow,
me.
that's
Like,
wild.
you're
I almost died.
He said, that nigga said, I Madara, like, he told him, like, yo, you're the best taijutsu user. When Madara tell you that,
Yeah, it's different.
Right.
he said,
the
"I,
facts.
Madara, declare you the strongest. You are that shit."
And that meant something. And that's why I hate to say it, but that's why the ending of Naruto hurt so bad, because
does
Madara
hurt.
was such a good antagonist. And if you just
yeah.
ended it with him dying, Naruto
they
could have
hold
just been
niggas, bro.
10 out of 10. It could have been 10 out of 10.
They hold Neji and then they hold Madara. Like,
For no
they hold
reason.
Yeah, they did.
For
have
no
Neji,
reason.
man.
We
But I
didn't,
mean, granted, Kishimoto was like, "Yo, I made this dude too powerful. I don't know how to kill him," because he did
Yeah.
make
he
Madara
did.
too powerful.
He made him too broke.
Madara was.
He made
too
him too
fucking
powerful.
much,
and there
man.
wasn't no claws on him. Like Kaguya was just as powerful, but at least she had a claws where you could seal her
Right.
away. Like Madara
There was
didn't
no
really have
claws
that.
on Madara.
Yeah,
He
you
was
can't
just
do
too
that.
powerful.
He was just a problem.
He had to hold him. He had to hold him.
He had to hold. Now,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to wrap up pretty soon, guys. So before that, I just want to ask you guys individually, starter pack anime. If there are if some of you who are still new to anime, or people who will watch this down the line, maybe like you can give like 5, 6. What are some animes that you feel absolutely need to be watched to start off with if you want to really get into anime? And anyone can go first.
I'll say
ahead.
to get a feel. I mean, obviously, it's the GOAT, in my opinion. I think everybody needs to watch One Piece,
Okay.
but just to kind of jump into the newer wave of things, I think some good ones to start with is obviously My Hero.
Okay.
I think Fire Force, also Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone is a good one.
I think those ones are some really good ones for people to jump
Dr. Stone
into.
would be a good one, yeah.
And the last one I will say is, oh shit, I don't know. I guess, Bleach, because Bleach is a really entertaining one that is, again, part of the big three. It's one of the
And it
most
has
acclaimed of all time. And
relevance in now too.
and now that I'm along the lines of entertainments, I'm gonna say, watch fucking JoJo's. It's the most entertaining shit in the world,
As a
bro.
starter,
the OSTs,
I don't know,
the moments.
man.
This shit is crazy.
I don't know. As a starters, yeah. Go ahead. What's
Right.
up?
I guess I'll try to get one from a few different genres,
Okay.
just to cover bases. I would probably say one. I would probably say Death Note.
Agreed.
That is a good one.
As sports, I would definitely say not Haikyuu. I would say Kiriko, because it's more enjoyable, just off an enjoyable factor.
Okay.
I would say Kiriko. Romance wise, I would say Your Lie in April.
Ooh, good one. Yes,
I really
sir.
gotta watch that one. That's
Your
been
Line
recommended
April
to
was
me
very,
several times.
very
I
good.
would definitely
by a
say Your
couple
Lie in
close
April.
friends.
Very good at.
Is that about pianos
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Very good.
yes.
Very, very good. I highly
or
recommend.
a pianist rather?
Yes.
Isekai, I would say Sword Art.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good.
A lot of people seem to gravitate more to Sword Art as the first Isekai. Another one I would say, damn it, I forgot the name of it just that fast.
Is it like a mecha? Was it like an adventure?
Is it
Yeah.
slime?
No, it's
No,
not.
no.
It wasn't an isekai. It was another genre. But it slipped my mind. But anyway, shonen. I'll probably say My Hero for shonen.
Okay.
Ooh,
And
miss with
also
that.
for more of a seinen, I'll probably say like Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is
very
one we
good
didn't
show.
really talk about a lot, but is very popular on the Western Front. I
Attack on
think.
Titan is another pioneer for sure.
Man, they fumbled a little bit to me, bro, when they took that hiatus.
They did.
I feel like if they did
that hiatus
I feel
hurt.
I feel like if they didn't take that hiatus, bro, Attack on Titan would be enormous, even more than what it is.
I think
Definitely.
you're probably right about that, because I remember back when the first season of Attack on Titan dropped, it was very similar to My Hero in that it was a
huge.
fucking wave. It was
Right.
huge.
Yeah,
Attack on
they
Titan was
messed up
massive.
with that hiatus.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, they said most of mine, I guess, are ones that I would suggest. I'll just say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Absolutely.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm biased, so I'm gonna throw Yu Yu Hakusho in there.
Got two.
I won't say Dragon Ball Z. Naruto. I think Naruto was a good one. One Piece, of course, as already was said. I think Haikyuu actually. I think Haikyuu
Haikyuu's
really.
a great.
Haikyuu's one of those ones, bro. Like it's of course it's sports anime, but bro, there's like so much more to it, and it's so like just vibrant. It's something that I feel like somebody could just pick up and enjoy, bro. Just off of the aesthetic alone. The shit's just vibrant.
It connects you to the character so much too. I feel like you really in the moments where you're supposed to feel, like you really do.
You really,
and I mean that might just be me, but man,
Ace of Diamond does that really well.
Ace of Diamond is very good with that too. Yes,
right. Ace of Diamond is GOAT with that.
Yeah, that's mine.
What I would do, I would probably say Hero. I mean, I don't think Hero's the greatest, but I think Hero's a great starter anime just because it's superheroes, and in the West we're really big superhero culture here.
And it's
I would say Hunter. I've actually got several people onto anime using Hunter, and it's not something you like show a little kid or whatever because they wouldn't understand it.
Right,
but I think most of the people we would talk about can definitely understand Hunter, and that's just like so compelling and such high thrilling action, just great characters. I think that's a really solid one.
Hunter can be a double-edged sword though, because a lot of people when they get introduced with Hunter, they'll be like, man, nothing else is as good. I can't watch anything else because the rest of it is trash.
My wife says that.
I can see that.
Hunter.
Because Hunter x Hunter explains a lot, and it gives you everything. It does.
I was just talking to my girl last night. She said that same shit. She was like, because she was getting into she's getting into reading manga because she's never read manga. She's always been an anime watcher or whatever. She was just like, man, I'm afraid. I want to start off with Hunter because it's my favorite anime, but I just feel like it's just so good, man. I just don't know. And then I might want to read nothing else or watch anything else. Like she said the same shit. She told me last night. She's like, if I had watched Hunter first before anything else, I might not even have been an anime fan anymore. Like I might not have watched anything else. So I definitely feel like that's a thing. Like.
Yeah,
definitely.
Throw a couple more on there. I would probably say I would probably say Eva, like Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay. Just because after, but not their first anime. I'd say after you watch a couple of anime, then get into that. Have some mecha flavor in there, and maybe another old school one like Cowboy Bebop or something. Because it's just such high quality, you can't really go wrong watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, before you go, I remember my other one. Okay. I just wanted to throw it in there.
Go ahead.
So for the horror one, I would say Another.
That's a good one. I haven't finished it, but I heard that's very good.
Yeah, I've heard good things too. Well, I like what Nicholas was saying. Who are you introducing it to? If I'm talking to the people that I would most likely talk to in the world, obviously that's not kids. People my age, and people in my environment. It's I have to put you on the Champloo first. Samurai Champloo's got to be number one. Agreed. Because that bridges the gap between anime, pop culture, hip hop, all these things, all the b-boy elements of fucking graffiti, breakdancing, fucking all that shit that's in there, like New Jabes and fucking Fat John, lo-fi shit. It's just transcendent. And it's
100%.
It's the most important anime I think I could ever. And another thing about it is it's just 2 seasons. When you throw somebody 26 episodes, they're much more willing to watch that than One Piece 900. Get on that, bitch. It's so hard to. Sell One Piece, and on top of that, One Piece I think is the greatest story I ever read, and I love One Piece.
I agree.
Tremendously, but Toei obviously falls off at some point. It was great for a long period of time, so it's I think you should consume One Piece, but you should just read the manga, to be honest. I wouldn't give that anime, but if you were just never ever gonna read manga, I would say yes, you got to watch One Piece. You got to get the story somehow, consume it however you're gonna do it. But Champloo's number one for me. Hunter's only 100 and whatever, 30, 40 episodes, something like that, where it's that's
148 is right.
That's longer, and it's the greatest anime of all time to me. And I obviously have to throw Hunter in there. I think anything with high animation value is really good to sell to people. Naruto is a great one to start people off, and I'd say fuck with Naruto. Naruto's great. Watch it in its entirety if you want to, or I mean, obviously get the filler guide out, or I feel like just watch Kid Naruto till, you know, Sasuke's gone, take a break, do some other shit, come back to Shippuden. That's, you know, I think that's a good way to go about that, because like I say, like the longer anime is, I feel like hard to sell people. So a couple of other short ones that I really, you know, love and grew up on. Outlaw Star is one of my favorites. I love Outlaw Star. That was on Toonami back in the day. But yeah, I'm also had to go with Sensei here on Yu Yu Hakusho, because again, that's just like Champloo. I feel like even though they're different, you know, thematically, it bridges the gap from our culture to their culture. And watching the dub and actually watching the dub is also important to say, because when you're trying to put people on anime, telling them to watch sub is just not happening. Like,
Right.
To the most part, like people that never read subtitle, ever watched a subtitle TV show or anything, like you can't sell that to
They
them.
don't
So
want to hear
it's
that shit.
They don't.
yeah, you got it. You got to
That's
look at
facts.
dub. So it's like Champloo, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter when you're ready to do a sub, because I'd rather have you do sub there, even though the dub is good and I have, you know, fucked with it. And then yeah, I mean Hero is good, but yeah, I want a couple 26 episode animes. Bebop was a good suggestion. Bebop, Champloo, fucking Outlaw Star. I like those, and those are easier sells, I think, to people. And some of maybe the newer, shorter ones would be good too. You know, we just were watching Juni Taisen last night. Like that shit is fire.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
like as long as it's got high animation value and it's easy to consume, I think that's what you got to do. But yeah, so
Animation, I would definitely recommend Fate, the Fate series.
Fate,
Fate, yeah.
you know,
Too,
unlimited budget works. You know, you can't fuck around with
Yeah.
that. You know?
Do that, you know. For me, how I normally like to do it is I like to start them off like slow, you know, low episode counts for certain anime. So for me, the original Fullmetal Alchemist is a very good starting point. And if you like the
love it.
story a lot, then you get into Brotherhood and understand that Brotherhood just has a
I
better
agree.
story, but both are excellent series. One Punch Man, season 1, very, very easy to get into.
That shit hard.
It's
man.
very
Definitely.
easy.
Yeah.
One Punch
Man
Man
hard.
is something I would definitely tell.
Madhouse.
Yeah. Madhouses
That's-
in general. Expose them to Madhouse first. One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, season 2.
Code Geass. Now, Code Geass is something we haven't
Code
talked
Geass,
about.
that's a good one.
Code
That's a
Geass's
good one.
dub is again another legendary dub. Like Lord Jeremiah's voice, bro. Like Lelouch,
Man,
Suzaku, Nunnally.
I need to peep Code Geass.
You
I'm
need
such
to
a-
watch
Geass
Code
fire.
Geass. Code
Yeah, I gotta
Geass.
also watch that as well.
For me, Code Geass is something that has to be watched no matter what. Like, it just has to be, because it has one of the greatest plot twists in anime history that introduce you to what anime is capable of. And it's not just
Yeah.
based in Japan. It expands and it shows you, it gives you themes that are very, very prevalent in today's world specifically. So Code Geass is another one. Death Note, again, one of the most popular animes ever created. I think it's one of the most easily accepted animes for all kinds of people. People who like to think,
Right.
people who like detective series, people who like, it's like, it has the lighthearted nature, it has the supernatural
Dark
side, but it
side.
has the super analytical, thought-provoking depth, character interactions, character thought, psychology. It has it all. So Death Note, One Punch Man, Attack on Titan is another one I highly recommend. Code Geass, of course. And if you want something a little more sweeter and on the romance side of things, Toradora. Check
That's
out
a good one.
Toradora, please. If you
That's
want-
Toradora is a great one.
If you want romance, please check out Toradora. It is
Top 5 romance
I've
series.
rewatched Toradora so many times. It's almost disgusting how many times I've rewatched it. And I'm probably gonna
Yo.
rewatch it afterwards.
Have you seen Plastic Memories?
No, I have not. I haven't
Watch
yet.
that.
Watch Plastic
Watch
Memories.
that.
Okay.
I heard that
Watch
shit
Plastic
fire.
I heard that was
Okay.
okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
dog.
I'm gonna have to
Plastic
be.
Memories.
Yeah, if you know about Your Lie in April, then I'm definitely going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna trust your input on that because
Yeah.
it means you cultured. All right. But if any, so guys, we're definitely gonna close out this stream. I just want to shout out one. We have a charity going for Black Lives Matter, guys. You knows what's going on right now
Yes,
in this
sir.
world. It is very, very important. There is a lot of things that need to be done. There's legislative things that need to be addressed. There is the movement needs more support. So if you want to donate, if you feel in your heart that what's going on is wrong, please check out in the description. You'll see the Tilify donation link. Donate whatever is in your heart to donate. And also COVID, let's not forget coronavirus is still out there. And
It's still here.
based on all the riots that's going on, I definitely can foresee another uptick in that happening. This is ruining people's lives. It's ruining people's lives, and it's killing people that we've looked up to for a long time, especially the elderly. So definitely donate. Let's try and do something to help, because if you want to feel like you're stuck at home and you don't feel like you have anything to do, donate like $2-3. Feel like you've added to the cause. Be part of the cause, because again, don't fall into that mentality that my $3 are not going to mean anything. It means something.
Man.
That $3 could save a life, because
$3 adds up.
it adds up.
People.
If think about it, if 100 people donate $3, that's $300, and that could pay for someone's
Yep.
equipment. It could pay for testing equipment, a lot of things. So definitely donate to the COVID charity and the Black Lives Matter charity. As a human, I feel like it is our obligation to support these causes so we can make the world a better place. So definitely check those out. Any last thoughts from you guys before we close?
I would just advise people to go over to the ANITUBE CON Twitch channel, where the cosplay contest is live right
Yes,
now.
sir.
It's
Absolutely.
finished.
Check that out.
That
Popping right
cosplay
now.
con,
It's
man.
live right now.
Yes,
It's
sir.
live
It's
right
live
now.
for about 30 minutes. Yeah, go over there, support that shit, man. It's on Twitch. ANITUBE Con. Go watch that shit, man.
Hell yeah. I just
I
say,
say
Gabe,
donate, and thanks for watching. Been awesome.
Thanks for watching.
yeah,
This was a
definitely
great
anything
conversation,
helps.
boys, man.
Very
This
good,
was a
man.
fire panel.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah, a
Knox
lot of
for
fun.
adding me last minute, man. Let me be
Hell
on this
yeah.
panel. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you being here, man.
Hell
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Well, this-
Yeah, I would just say same thing, man. Just donate if you can. Do anything helps, and you know, I'm glad as fuck to be with you guys. This has been great. Thank you guys. It's been perfect.
I had a lot of fun.
Hell
I
yeah.
really had a lot of fun with this
Definitely.
conversation. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much.
We have
for
to do
coming
this
through.
again.
We're definitely gonna
Yeah.
have to. But everyone in the chat that showed up as well, thank you so much. You guys, your support means everything to us. And we're hoping to do this again. So this is definitely the start. But again, respect Shounen, respect the big three, respect all the old school anime, and also watch dubbed anime. It's not bad. Just check it out. It's not bad. Just check it out.
Check it out.
But that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much. Tune into the cosplay stream on Twitch. The link will be provided. That is it from everybody else here. We will catch you on the next panel, and we're out. Take care.
Take care.
Peace.